All right, guys, here we go. All or nothing training. So today is about mastering the monotonous. It's a very fancy way of saying the details matter. A lot of people focus on what is the magic bullet, what is the trick or the tip to make it in this world, right? What's what's the magic bullet? And I wish there was one. At least I haven't found one yet. But what I've found is you can change your life, you can change your future, whether it's fitness, health, business, relationships, family, anything in life you can change by small daily actions over time. So this today's class is on mastering the monotonous. Whether you want to relate it to getting in shape, whether you want to relate it to your health, your business, your sales, your relationships with your significant other, with your kids, whatever. Any of it is it. All of this applies to every area of life. So mastering the monotonous. An example would be some things that I've heard is from other people. So for those of you who don't know, I just finished 75 hard, and I'm pretty close to in the best shape of my life after being very not in shape. And it's a mental toughness program. If you'd like to hear more about that, I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but it has 100% changed my life. Feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to tell you more about that. But so, for example, people are like, "Oh, well, I've ate healthy for 3 days and I've worked out 3 days in a row, but I don't see any difference." Right? So that fitness and health is a good analogy for life. It doesn't happen overnight. So you do it one day, right? You look in the mirror the next day, you can't see any difference. That's how business works. That's how relationships work. You haven't deposited enough in that account for you to see the results yet, right? You can't save a dollar a day in one day and all of a sudden now you're rich, but a dollar a day over 10 years, you got a lot of money in there, right? Same thing. You got to deposit in that account every single day. So it takes it takes time. There's this phrase that I've learned from one of my mentors. It's called aggressive patience. You need to be patient to be successful in this world, but you can't just sit back and wait. You got to be aggressive in that patience. You got to realize it's what I do every single day, day in and day out, but I'm not going to see the results every single day. But one of these days you'll look back and realize, holy cow, my life is completely transformed. But it's because you had your head down and you focused on the small things every single day in and day out. Another thing is, well, I've done everything I'm supposed to do. So real estate specific. Well, I've made all my calls. I've kept up with my database. I did my presentation. I did everything I'm supposed to do for all week. How come I haven't sold 100 houses yet? It doesn't happen that way. That's not how life works, right? But if you do that consistently over time, guess what happens? Number one, you're going to get results because you consistently put in the effort, right? But number two, you're going to improve because practice makes perfect, right? So the more that you do these things, the better you become at it. You become more efficient. You become more efficient and more effective. So it takes consistent mastery over time. So there's a difference in doing things consistently and doing things consistently the right way. So if you do the same thing every day, but it's the wrong thing, it's not going to do you any good, right? So you have to be able to step back and reflect and realize, all right, what do I need to do for the long run for my goals? So number one tip on this is, where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? You've got to have that vision. So whether it's a vision board, whether it's talking with somebody that's a bigger thinker, somebody that's a mentor to you that's been there and done that, somebody that's created something that you want to create, somebody that's in the fitness shape that you want to be in, somebody that's maybe got the relationship with their family that you want, whatever area of aspect of life that it is, you need to find somebody that you look up to. And fortunately, in today's world, there's podcasts, there's YouTube, there's videos. It doesn't even have to be somebody you know, right? A lot of my mentors I've found by finding good content that they put out. And then I just follow them and reach out. And sometimes they get back to me and sometimes they don't. But regardless, I follow them on their journey so I can kind of see what has helped them get to where they're going. So mastering the monotonous means doing the shit that most people are too undisciplined to do day in and day out and doing it with perfection. I'll say that again. Mastering the monotonous means doing the shit most people are too undisciplined to do day in and day out with perfection. So it's not just doing it, it's doing it the stuff that most people are too undisciplined to do, right? They're like, oh, well, I can put that off. It's very easy in this real estate world to procrastinate. Procrastination is a dream killer. There is no tomorrow. You got to get it done today. You put it on your to-do list for a reason. Why are you pushing it off? Get it done. Knock it out. And most people are too undisciplined to do that day in and day out. So it's not just, oh, I did it good today, I can take tomorrow off. Hey, I wrote 2 contracts today, I'm going to take tomorrow off. That's not what successful people do. They take that too, and they say that that's now my accomplishment, so that's my new standard. Yesterday's accomplishment is today's standard. So what you accomplished in the past, don't rest on that. Don't be that guy that's sitting at a bar at 40 years old drinking beer with your buddies talking about how you used to be good in high school football, right? That don't get caught on what you accomplished yesterday. Always focus on what you can do better the next day. So the way you do that is by mastering the monotonous. People underestimate what they can do in a day. No, they overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in a year. Let's say that again because I said it backwards first. I always mess it up. But people overestimate what they can do in a day and they underestimate what they can do in a year. Think about it. You can't change your life in a day. It just doesn't happen. But if you work on small things every single day, consistently get better day in and day out, and then you look back a year later, your life can 100% completely change over that year. But it's because of what you did every single day, and you worked on getting better every single day. You mastered the monotonous day in and day out. Again, you did the shit that most people are too undisciplined to do day in and day out, and you did it with perfection. You did it to the best of your ability, and you continue to improve your best every day. You expand that ability every day. It doesn't have to be a lot, but if you just get a little bit better every single day, I'm proof. You'll look back and be like, holy cow, I don't recognize this person anymore. I've done this in every aspect of my life, whether it's being unhealthy to being healthy, whether it's my business struggling to my business thriving, whether it's my relationship struggling because my business was thriving to now my relationships are great. I've done it all. And so this isn't theory. This is stuff that I've used personally to really transform my life. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. But anytime I get in a rut, this is what I go back to. I get back to, all right, yeah, I may be better than I used to be, but how can I take that and improve upon it? And it always comes down to the basics. It's back to the fundamentals. Every single day, what do I need to do that day to break down my goal to accomplish whatever it is that I want to accomplish? So I've got a few bullet points on how you do this. Let me go through my notes. I think I've got 3. So if you guys are taking notes, I've got 3 bullet points on how to master monotonous and how to use this in any area of your life to be successful, right? So number 1 is be disciplined. Seems simple. It's actually one of our core values as a company. It's one of my core values personally. Be disciplined. So you need to visualize the connection between what you're doing day to day, the monotonous, right? What are you doing every single day with what you want to achieve? So what do I mean by that? You have to be able to have that vision of, if I do this every single day, how is it going to affect me over the long term? You've got to visualize how that connects. Otherwise, you'll do it for a week, you'll do it for 3 days, and you'll be like, well, shit, I didn't get what I wanted to do, and you give up, right? How many of you started a new diet or a new fitness program? And man, I'm sore. I've worked out 3 days in a row. I ate healthy. How come I haven't lost 15 pounds yet? That's not how it works. That's not how it works in business. That's not how it works in relationships. That's just not how the world works. So you've got to get over that. You've got to realize that it's consistent effort over a period of time. Aggressive patience. So you've got to visualize that connection. And you got to ask yourself too, where do you want to be financially? Where do you want to be with your fitness, with your business? Whatever it is, where do you want to be, right? What is it that you want to accomplish? So if you're in real estate, say you're selling, I don't know, you're an individual agent, you're selling 25 houses a year, but you want to sell 50. What's it going to take to get there? Break that down in bite-sized chunks, monthly, weekly, daily, and accomplish that task every single day. You can't help but succeed. But what most people do is they're like the person that's in college or high school, right? They have a test or an exam, and they know it's 2 weeks out. Instead of studying and break it down in bite-sized pieces, they wait till the night before and cram and hope that they remember everything and retain it. Right? That's not how it works in the real world. That is not how you become successful. Think about sports analogies, right? People that are most successful in sports, those are the ones that show up to the practice first. They leave last. I think it was Kobe Bryant that was famous for saying, like, he had a bunch of new people that were coming to the team, and they showed up at the gym at like 5 a.m. Well, they beat him there one morning, and they made it known that, hey, we were here before you. Well, he stayed 2 hours after them that night, and then he always showed up at 4:30 in the morning for the rest of the year to make sure that he knew that they weren't going to outwork him. That's why he was one of the greatest of all times, because he mastered the monotonous. It was the practice. I actually saw something, speaking of Kobe Bryant, saw something over the weekend that he is known as one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Did you know nobody in NBA history has missed more shots than Kobe Bryant? Nobody missed more shots in the entirety of the game than Kobe Bryant. However, he is known as one of the top 5 players of all time. Let that sink in for a minute. Don't be afraid to take your shot, right? Go for it. But it's because he was disciplined every single day, showed up, and outworked everybody. All right, so remember, so what do you do every single day? So I call it my power list, and I've ripped this off from Andy Frisella, one of my mentors, is that every single day I've got 5 things that I do. They're specific, they're defined, and they are measurable. I'm gonna say that again. It's 5 things every single day that I commit to getting done, no matter what, no excuses. They're specific, they're defined, and they're measurable. So if you say, oh, well, I want to sell one house today, that's not specific. How are you going to measure what got you to sell that house? A better goal would be, I'm going to talk to 5 or 10 people about real estate today, right? I'm going to set one appointment today. But it's about the actions that it takes to get to your result, right? So whenever I'm trying to be healthy and it hasn't been a habit yet, I will go through and I will say, all right, I'm going to do 1 hour workout today. I'm going to eat 5 healthy meals, stay under this macros, blah, blah, blah. And that's 2 of my power list, right? Because I know if I work on myself, it'll help me in my business world. I'll feel better, I'll perform better, etc. So on your power list, again, this isn't a power list thing, but I think it kind of ties in. Check where I'm at on time. All right. So how I do the power list is it takes, they say 21 days to build a habit. So say it's you want to make 20 calls a day, right? Say that's part of your power list. Well, once that becomes a habit and you don't need to write that down anymore, that's the beauty of the power list, is it helps you accomplish what we're talking about, right? It helps you continue to grow, because now that's a habit. You don't need it on your power list anymore. You just do that every day regardless. Now you expand, and you expand your potential. Now you grow into something else. You replace that, because it's a habit, with something else that you need to do to grow, right? All right, so let me go back to my notes here. So where do you want to be financially? Where do you want to be in fitness? Where do you want to be in business? 6 months from now or 1 year from now, you got to connect the dots. You got to visually connect those dots, right? On how you're doing what you're doing today. That's going to be hard. Why are you doing that? You have to connect the dots on why it's important for me to accomplish this day in and day out, because it's going to help me accomplish this in the long run, right? You got to be able to connect those dots and realize, because it's going to be hard. There's going to be days you don't feel like it. And that's what separates people. What's your office look like on Friday afternoon? Are you thinking about the weekend, or are you thinking about how you can actually separate yourself from the competition by putting in more work when everybody else is going home? They're going to the bar, they're going to the lake, whatever they're doing. What are you doing on Friday afternoons to separate yourself? What are you doing on Saturdays? Are your goals really your goals, or do you just say they are, right? It's about the monotonous things that you do day in and day out. Realize the little things you do day in and day out will lead to big things. We've already kind of went over that. And you have to do the small things consistently every single day. You got to connect the dots to what you are doing to where you want to go. I can't express this enough, is that you've got to find that connection in this hard stuff that I'm doing today is going to get me to this long-term goal that I have, right? Whether that's a certain amount of money you want to make, whether that's a better relationship, better fitness, whatever it is that you want to work on, maybe all of them, I don't know. Whatever it is, what is that small specific thing you need to do day in and day out that will lead you to that goal? And then if you visually connect those dots on doing these hard things every single day is going to lead me to this result, then when you have one of those hard days, guess what? You're not going to make excuses. You're going to keep your commitment you made to yourself, because you tied it to the long-term vision. Consistent, monotonous, or small tasks done daily with discipline to perfection will change your life. Let's say that again. Consistent, monotonous, daily tasks done with discipline to perfection will change your life. When you consistently do those, you expand your potential every day, because those tasks become, again, a new habit, right? Not only is it a habit, but you are better at that task because You got time on trade. You've done it over and over and over again. And so as long as you are able to self-reflect, say it's prospecting, you're making phone calls. Well, the more phone calls you make, the better you are if you do it correctly, right? If you're doing it with intent. So anything that you do in life, the more you do it, the better you get. There's more reps, right? So make sure that you're not only just doing the task, but you're also expanding your potential as you're doing them. All right, number 2, if you're taking notes here, you need to make it an issue of pride and competition for yourself. Whenever you set these goals, I don't know about you guys, but I want to keep my commitments to myself, and so I don't want to let myself down. If I let myself down, I let my family down. If I let myself down, I let my team down. So I can't let myself down, right? I put that on my shoulders. That's my responsibility. I have a lot of pride in that. So when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Period. If you can actually say that and you actually mean it, the world's yours for the taking. There's nothing you can't accomplish. But a lot of people can say that, but not a lot of people can say that and actually mean it. Because on a daily basis, they let themselves down. I just speak it how it is. It's just the truth. And I'm not perfect. I have days where I put a big L at the top of my power list because I didn't make it. But more times than not, I'm a winner. I win the day. And if you win enough days, guess what? You win enough weeks. You win enough weeks, you win months. If you win enough months, you win enough years. One of my biggest fears in life is I'm gonna get to wherever I'm going once I'm gone from this world, and they're gonna look back, and I'm gonna look back and say, "Man, I wish I would have done this." I don't want to have any regrets. I want to make sure that I maximize my time here. And so one of the things I do, you guys may think, "Oh, well, you just work a lot. You want to work a lot." One of the things that's in my schedule that is non-negotiable is family time every single day. Non-negotiable, period. Because that's a priority in my life. Right? So you can put this anywhere in life. All right, so make an issue of pride and competition for you. All these little things that you do, you need to make an opportunity to win. Actually, let me take that back. Not win, you need to dominate. You need to dominate the day, right? I cannot tell you the feeling when I first started the power list. I thought, this is stupid. It's just a to-do list. Whenever you mark it off and you get one of the items, say it's the make 20 calls, right? Make 20 prospecting calls, whatever it is. And then you actually make that 20th call and you cross that off your list and you get all the other 4 things done. You put a big W and circle at the top of the page. You get a little hit of adrenaline. It makes you feel good. You're proud of yourself. You did what you said you were going to do. The power of that over a period of time alone is huge. So don't just think of it as, oh, it's just another to-do list. It's a to-do list you can actually accomplish every single day, right? It has power to it. That's why it's called a power list. All right. So I said make it an opportunity to win. Actually, not just win, you want to dominate. So this goes in every aspect of life. Everything. How you do anything is how you do everything. I'm going to say that again. How you do anything is how you do everything. What I mean by that is if I'm a janitor, my job is to clean the bathrooms. My bathrooms that I clean, they're going to stand out from the competition. All the other janitors, they ain't got a chance. I'm winning janitor of the month because my bathrooms are going to be cleaner. So I got pride in my work. I realize that the habits that builds in myself will help propel me for the future, right? A lot of people will say, well, I'm just a janitor. It's not that important. That's why you're going to stay a janitor. That's why you're never going to level up. Because you have that mindset of, oh, well, it's not that important. Everything's important. The details matter, period. People realize it. Say it's making French fries at McDonald's. I'm going to be so good at making French fries, McDonald's corporate's going to have me teach the class for all the trainers on how to make French fries because my French fries are that much better. That's the mindset you have to have. If you don't have that mindset, how are you ever going to level up in life? How are you ever going to get promoted from making French fries to whatever else you want to do in life? If you just, oh, well, I'm just going to do my time, clock in and clock out. One of the things I ask myself is if I was my own boss, which I am, would I fire myself? And some days I would. I don't know if you guys ask yourself that. If you're an agent on here, you need to ask yourself that every single day. Would I want me on my team? That's a hard look in the mirror to have, but I'm telling you, if you can hold yourself accountable to doing that, it makes a big, big difference over the long run. So you need to dominate your task. The details matter. Details, details, details. Don't just go through the motions. Have intent. Why are you doing what you're doing? Remember, tie it to that vision, right? Why are you doing it? If I do this, if I make these calls today, it will help me get that vacation for my family at the end of the year. It makes that phone call a lot easier to make when you're not feeling like making it. And not only are you making that call, but you're making that call with intent. I'm not just going to go through the motions and hit dial. I'm going to think, how can I have the best conversation I can have with this person? How can I really go above and beyond to help this person, right? A lot of times as salespeople, we fall in the trap of, oh, we got to sell them. We got to go through this script. We got to do that. At the end of the day, you're talking to people. Have a freaking conversation with them. Talk to them. How can you help them? Period. I'm here to help. I'm not here to sell you anything. You come on my website and I call you and you say, oh, well, I just want to look on your website. Perfect. That's what my site's actually designed for, is people just like you to look at it. What do you think of my website? Is it working okay for you? Is there anything I can do to help? As a matter of fact, we have an app. How about I send you over the app so you can look on my website? It's updated every 15 minutes. Now, instead of going to, oh, well, you're just looking objection, now they feel comfortable with me. And now I can handle that objection. I can actually have a conversation with that person, right? Because my mindset is I want to help them. But that all goes back to intent. Am I making the call just to make the call? Or am I making the call to help that person? Am I making that call so I can help that person sell another home so that I can have that vacation with my family? Why are you doing what you're doing? You have to have intent. All right. So you build habits by doing this stuff over a period of time, right? You're building the habit whether you are intentionally doing it or not. You have habits right now. So I want to be in control of my habits. I want my habits to be good. So you need to do your best day in and day out. That leads to a habit of always doing your best. Remember what I said, how you do anything is how you do everything. Right? So, I mean, as an example, we had a little fiasco at our office. Some of you on here laugh at this because you know who the culprit was. I'll keep that out of this one. But there was went to the bathroom and actually went in and washed my hands and happened to look over. I'm like, the toilet paper roll is empty, but it's still on the toilet paper roll. I lost it. I lost it to the team. Put out a big message. Said, wait a minute, we are better than this. Put a picture, put it in our group chat. Said, this is not what we stand for. We are way better than this. Everybody in this building is better than this. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. A lot of people will say, oh, it's just toilet paper roll. It's more than that. If you can't change a toilet paper roll, what else are you skipping on, right? The details matter. The monotony matters. Makes a big difference. What do you do day in and day out? All right, cultivate the habit, make it an issue of pride. So, for example, going back to sweeping the floors, right? If I'm going to be sweeping the floors as my job, my floors are going to be the cleanest. I'm going to be the best at sweeping the floors in the history of floor sweeping, period. I'm going to be the best. I don't know about you guys, but I have a lot of pride in myself. I have a lot of pride in my name. I was taught growing up, you get one name, you better take care of it. Whatever it is I do, I want people to think that I'm the best, right? So people say pride's a bad thing. I disagree. Pride helps you level up and become better in life. All right, number 3, take a look back. So we talked a lot about looking forward, right? Looking in the future. What you do today, how is that going to affect 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 3 years down the road? But also, every now and then, once a month, once a quarter, you need to sit back and you need to look. All right, so I've done this for full 30 days. I've done this for a full 90 days. 90 days is a better scale if you can do it for a full 90 days. But say whatever it is you wanted to do every single day. If you do that every single day for 90 days without fail, and you look back on whatever it is, say it was fitness, say it was your business, say it was your relationship with your family, whatever it is you were focused on for that 90 days, if you actually did that task, those 5 tasks every single day without fail, with intention, paid attention to the detail, worked on improving those every single day, you will be a different person in 90 days. Without fail. Your business will be better than it's ever been. Your fitness will be better. Your relationship will be better. Whatever it is you want to focus on. It's all about mastering the monotonous every single day. Again, people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in 90 days, 60 or 6 months or a year. They think, oh, well, I'll do that tomorrow. You can't make up for it tomorrow. Time is way more valuable than money. They make more money every day. They ain't making no more time. What are you doing with it? Very, very important. And again, if you tied it to that longer term vision, whenever you sit back and relax, you get a little bit to soak it in and be like, wow, I'm proud of myself. Look what I accomplished. But I want you to remember why you accomplished that. It's because of what you did day in and day out. It was the monotonous task over a period of time. So you have to pay attention to the results it's creating. Because if you don't pay attention to the results, you'll fall back into thinking like most people, and that the monotonous and the details don't matter. If you don't get those wins every so often, if you don't sit back and reflect, because it's not always a drastic difference in a 9-day period, but it's a difference. If you don't sit back and like reflect on that win, you'll fall in that trap of being like, well, why am I working this hard? It's not going to matter. But it does. It just takes time for it to matter, right? So I've got here the details are the things that matter the most. It's about fulfilling your own true potential. Here's my definition of success. It's the pursuit of one's true potential. The pursuit of one's true potential. What I mean by that is I look at success as I will never be successful, ever, because I'm always going to be able to do more. And I always want to pursue my full potential. What's cool about that is your potential grows. As you grow, so does your potential. And if you're able to have that mindset, yeah, you can sit back and again, like I said, one of the three is sit back and reflect. Look at where you're at. But if you want to continue to improve, I've seen so many people, and I've studied a lot of people and listened to a lot of podcasts, watch a lot of videos about successful people, and there are those people that feel like they've reached success, right? So somebody put making a change from day one to a year. That's cool. So if you have a goal of selling 50 houses this year, and you sell that, and you think that's your version of success, what's next? That caps it, and I don't like success being capped. I want my success to continue to grow, right? So I agree with you that that would make you successful for that year. You did reach your goal, but what's next for you, right? So I like my definition of success is the pursuit of one's true potential. It's always growing because maybe I reached a goal, sure, but am I successful? Am I going to sit back and put my feet on the desk, or do I have more work to do? Do I have more to offer to this world? Do I have a bigger legacy to leave? Do I have a better way to pave the future for my family? Because I want to keep going. All right, master the monotonous to build the life you want and deserve. Fulfill your true potential. Don't fall for the status quo or being average. I don't know about you, but as I've went through this journey that's called life, I've had a lot of people that my friends have changed over years, my mentors, all that stuff, because I focused on me and I wanted to grow. I felt like I could serve the world at a higher level, right? And so as you do that, you'll lose friends. You'll have people that are doubters. You'll have all that. Don't let that get you down. Use that as fuel. Those people, wish them the best. Don't. What I used to do is I used to get mad at those people. I took it personal. Those people just don't know any better. Try to lift them up. If they don't want to come up with you, that's their choice, right? But don't let that get you down. Realize that that is their own insecurities that they are projecting on you. They don't feel like they can do that, so they don't think it's fair that you can. That's just the truth. If I hurt feelings, I'm sorry. That's just how it is. I try my best to get everybody to come up with me. I want to raise everybody, right? A rising tide raises all ships, right? But at the end of the day, not everybody will end this journey where you end it. I'm a pretty intense guy. I have pretty ambitious goals because I just don't like playing small in this world. I feel like we are all capable of so much. Why limit yourself? Who wants to be average? Not me. I don't want to be average. So don't fall for the status quo. Don't let people, the negatives, the naysayers get you down. Um, all of you, everybody, was meant for way more in this world. There is so much opportunity right now. It's just all up to you to seize it. And the best to do that is to master the monotonous. It's what you do day in and day out. The daily task over a period of time is what will change your life. Period. All right, that's really all I've got for notes. We got any Q&A here? Anything? Nothing's off limits. If we can keep it on topic at first, if Nick or Cassandra can allow people to talk, to unmute, let's have some Q&A back and forth here. We got some time left. I'm 1 month in being an agent. Well, congratulations. Is this what you did to change your life? I mean, yeah, this is one of many things. But yeah, it starts with Um, I'm finding a way to get all of these that I've done and put them in a library. So you'll be able to go back and watch if you missed my first one I did on mindset. It was similar to this, but different as well. It was on mindset and time management. That's really the secret. If you want to know the truth, is in my opinion, is it all starts with mindset. It all starts with what you feed your brain and working on. Again, you can't accomplish anything great overnight. It takes consistent effort over a period of time. And a lot of people just don't have that drive, don't have that effort to continue putting it in, because this business will eat you up if you let it. Right? Entrepreneurship, this business, it will eat you up and spit you out. But if you just consistently put in this effort over time, even on the days you don't feel like it, it can change your life. It's all about the daily action that you take. You can only I have a saying around here. You can only control the controllables. You can only control what you can control. There's going to be stuff in this business that happens that's out of your control. We have a core value: accept responsibility. So we try to do what we can, and we feel like any problem is our problem. But at the end of the day, if it's something that we didn't cause and there's nothing we can do to fix it, why are you going to waste all of your day worried about that one thing when there's nothing you can do about it, right? Control what you can control. Control on finding a solution. Don't focus on the problem. I got another question here. How long do you usually keep items on the power list, or is it just when you realize it is habit? Yeah, so I don't have a specific time. They say, I don't know who they are, but I've heard, I guess I should say, that it's 21 days to build a habit. I whenever it's something that is so ingrained in me, which usually I think when I think about it, it's probably 21, 30 days, somewhere around there. And it just becomes like second nature to me. And I need to challenge myself again because it's just easy. I'll remove that off the power list and I continue to do it. And if I fall off, so say it's, I don't know, say it's making my calls and then I've gotten used to making my calls. Well, if I fall off that habit train, then I'll put it back on the power list the next day. But it's, yeah, usually just whenever it becomes a habit. So kind of self manage that. It just depends. Everybody's different. But where you can go wrong with it is you do the same thing for 6 months, right? Well, you're not really growing at that point. You need to continue to evolve that list. Great question. Remember, your accomplishment is now your new standard. So just because you set 2 appointments yesterday, that doesn't mean you get to take the rest of the week off. Try to set 3 tomorrow. All right, I'm going to restate my last paragraph here as a closer, and then we're going to close this out. I don't see any other questions coming in. All right, so you have to master the monotonous to build a life that you want and deserve. You have to fulfill your true potential. Don't fall for the status quo or being average. You are meant for more in this world. That's it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you attending, and hope to see you guys next week.